What is up? What is good? Ghost Squad, how are y'all doing? Today, Black Ghost Face is here to do a Be Amazed video. Going to be diving into a new one when people are having a worse day than you. Going to be jumping into that one to see how interesting that goes. But enjoy, y'all.
It really seems like life just isn't going. Some days it really seems like life just isn't going your way. But rest assured, it's probably not as terrible as you think. Some days it really seems like life just isn't going your way. But rest assured, it's probably not as terrible as you think. Whether it's bad luck, bad karma, or just bad choices, here are some people who are definitely having a worse day than you are. Everybody gets distracted by their smartphones at times, but this girl deserves special recognition for falling down a sewer drain in China. Turns out texting while driving isn't the only dangerous form of social media multitasking, as her entire leg somehow slipped through the narrow drain cover,
Whoa.
trapping her until emergency services arrived. She may have been easily freed, but the humiliation will never fade.
Yeah.
Most young kids put a kitten or a puppy on their Christmas list each year, but when that wish finally comes true, it's only fun and games until something like this happens. This poor little girl didn't know what she'd let herself in for when she insisted her feline companion ride shotgun. I'm just glad the driver was able to pull over fast enough to snap this hilarious photo.
I mean, it's a kitten. They can't help themselves. It's all cute until until that happened. But wow, left a print on her shirt.
Speaking of badly behaving animals, this is not what one unlucky homeowner was expecting after looking forward to a freshly cleaned house. Allow me to explain. This horror show is what happens when someone's brand new Roomba robotic cleaner meets a puppy who hasn't been potty trained.
No.
I can only imagine the smell this unfortunate homeowner faced as they opened the front door to discover a delightful trail of fresh puppy poo all throughout the house.
Wow.
Sometimes technology does fail us.
Wow.
If you're a frequent flyer, a photo like this should be enough to make your heart drop out of your stomach. It's not hard to imagine what happened.
And you know what? Wait, you know what? Imagine you bought a expensive rug. Imagine you have white carpets, white rugs. Imagine seeing a crap trail. Oh boy, it's gonna go. You can clean that out. You can, but oh man, having a dog that's not potty trained and you have, oh yeah.
Happened here. One last-minute trip to the little boy's room was probably cut short by the final boarding call, but this poor passenger isn't going anywhere without their passport. Someone constantly stealing from your fridge stash at work can be seriously frustrating.
It can
but this
be.
woman
It
found
is
the perfect
frustrating.
way to get her sweet revenge. There's nothing better than a passive-aggressive
whoever has
post-it
been
note,
enjoying my coffee
especially when it reveals that the coffee
on
creamer the thief has been
creamer
using
always
is
surprises
actually her breast milk.
Breast
But hey,
milk.
at least it's organic. In August 2017, a strange
You know what
turn
I
of
mean?
events
That's what
led
you
to a
get.
freeway in Arkansas being covered in thousands of frozen pepperoni pizzas. The mass pizza massacre happened when an 18-wheeler transporting Tombstone and DiGiorno's pizzas slammed into an overpass pillar, catapulting the frozen discs of broke student heaven onto the road. It might seem like a blessing from above,
Hey, get
but
it
the
while it's
carnage
cold.
caused standstill traffic in both directions as cleanup crews spent hours removing the no longer edible debris. Picture this.
Well, we know
You're
someone's
finally heading
fired.
back to your car after a grueling day when you find this awaiting your return. The best thing to do is to
Whoa.
accept that the car is no longer yours and bid those bees a good day as you run in the opposite direction. And
I mean, if they're seeing that, if I see that, I'm taking the bus. I'm taking the bus. You think, bro? There is a literal beehive in your car. What are you gonna do, huh? What are you gonna do if they're seeing that? Like you would think you going to work, 8 hours, maybe 10 hours, 12 hours shift, and you wouldn't even, it wouldn't even cross your mind that you go outside, ready to go home. I'm tired, and you see your car is covered in bees. What you gonna do? You tell me.
accept that the car is no longer yours and bid those bees a good day as you run in the opposite direction. In case you thought cycling might be a safer option to escape the little stingers, take a look at this poor bike, which has been turned into a temporary hive. It's definitely time to invest in a bus pass.
Yep.
DIY isn't everyone's forte, but it definitely takes a special kind of someone to screw up this badly on something as simple as a wooden dining chair. Maybe she was hoping to invent a chair that could work both ways, but judging by the total look of defeat, I'm just not sure things went as planned by creating this headache-inducing piece of furniture instead. In life, we have to make difficult decisions on a regular basis, but this profound dilemma is enough to have anybody stumped. What happens when you're in a major rush? Do you risk it and use the door? What if the other door isn't working? Or the goose figures out how to cover both bases at once? The owner of this booby trap building needs to come up with a solution fast. No matter how much forward planning we try to do, we just can't control the weather, and unforeseen circumstances can quite literally rain on your parade. Just take these two who set out on a road trip with huge grins on their faces, only to return looking like this. The poor pup just looked so disappointed that his owner didn't think to put the roof up before setting off. Speaking of freak weather, since when did turtles start falling out of the sky? When a lawn driver in South Carolina found himself inside this fever dream when the rear tire of a truck ahead of him hit an unsuspecting turtle, sending it smashing through the windshield like a real-life Mario Kart race.
Whoa.
Thankfully, nobody was harmed, but the same can be said for the poor little turtle. When things go wrong, we often wish the ground would just swallow us up whole, and that's definitely the case with a mishap which almost caused a $175,000 Porsche to be totally swallowed by a canal in Amsterdam. The brand new Porsche 911 GT3 RS was being displayed at a dealership when a mechanic decking it out with its orange striping accidentally drove it into the water. Thankfully, only the front end was submerged and the car was salvaged, but I wonder how the soon-to-be owner felt. The most adept coffee connoisseurs out there might be able to spot the error in this photo, which probably caused one of the most tedious shifts these coffee shop workers has ever experienced. The original Reddit poster explained that their boss had accidentally poured unroasted beans into a batch of roasted ones, meaning they had to separate 10,000 beans by hand. Better you than me, bud. Human error is inevitable, but there are some situations where there's really no room for slip-ups. In June 2019, footage of the helicopter rescue of an injured 74-year-old hiker in Arizona went viral for all the wrong reasons after the poor woman was seen spinning out of control while suspended in midair. It turns out the crucial tagline needed to stabilize the patient wasn't attached to the stretcher, only causing her to rotate faster as the crew attempted to lower her to the ground.
Yo! Yo! This got her spinning like a Beyblade. Yo! Got her spinning like a Beyblade. Yo, ain't she injured? I mean, bro, like a Beyblade just spinning. I freaking letting it rip.
Thankfully, she emerged unharmed, if not a little dizzy.
Oh,
9 times out of 10, botched homemade DIY solutions wind up in total disaster. Just ask this homeowner. Somehow the prospect of tentatively balancing a brand new TV on an old narrow mantelpiece didn't raise any red flags. But I'll bet the sound of it crashing to the ground did. I'm sure they won't bother cutting any corners next time. For most people, meeting your celebrity crush is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. But this girl was left, well, crushed after meeting Niall Horan. After uploading a poll to Instagram asking whether the two should date, this lucky fan was met with an overwhelming 84% yes response, with just 16% answering no. I can only imagine her face though when she realized that one of the naysayers was Mr. Horan himself. That's gotta hurt. Everyone loves a good bowl of cereal in the morning, right? And it's no secret the staple breakfast food tastes even better at night. But something about this bowl of cornflakes doesn't look quite right. This brave soul was already a few spoonfuls in before realizing they had a nasty ant infestation in their kitchen. So that's where the extra crunch came from. Taking up a new hobby always seems like a great idea, but no one could expect beekeeping to be a walk in the park. This poor beginner beekeeper faced a baptism by fire when she returned from her first day on the job looking like she'd just been in a cage fight.
Yo! Oh my god. Yo, that's bad. That's bad. But it couldn't be any worse than the lady, I'm gonna call her Beyblade. I'm calling her Beyblade. The one on the helicopter, the one that was spinning her like continuously fast. I'm calling her Beyblade. It couldn't be any worse than her. You're injured and your rescuer is spinning you like fast. I'm talking about like you about to be thrown up everywhere while still being escorted to the nearest hospital while still spinning. Nah, that's the worst one.
Thankfully, she seems to be smiling through it, and I guess it could be worse, but maybe she should hang up the suit for now. Anyone lucky enough to own a boat will know how relaxing a day at sea can be, provided the weather holds out. Unfortunately, luck just wasn't on the side of this poor boat as it came face to face with a wave big enough to toss it in the air like an angry god. I just hope the passengers got out okay. Everybody loves a good nap, but there's certainly a time and place. And this girl learned that the hard way after nodding off while enjoying a bowl of cereal in the sun. Having a spoon-shaped mark on your thigh is quite the statement, and that rosy red hue is definitely a sign that you're the designated pale friend.
So, you're telling me you're eating cereal in the middle of the day in the sun and you fell asleep? You did this. Like, it wouldn't occur to you to where after you get through eating, I'm gonna go back inside or whatnot? It just, what cereal was you eating that led to where you went to sleep right after?
There are design fails and then there are deliberate choices made to punish us, and this crappy design is certainly one of them. A frosted glass toilet stall might go down well in some eccentric multi-million-dollar mansion, but a public restroom is really no place for such an exhibitionist fantasy. As demonstrated by this guy though, if you've gotta go, you've just gotta go. Anyone clumsy enough to drop things on a regular basis will know some things make so much mess that they should be guarded with your life. And glitter is definitely up there with the worst. There are only two options here. Move out or burn the whole place down, because you're gonna be finding that stuff for months. An eternally sparkling living room might seem bad enough, but my heart truly goes out to the person who managed to drop an entire pot of chili in the car. Who knows what happened in the lead up to this disaster? Cut off by some moron on the road? A heated family debate? Or just pure Butterfingers? The world may never know, but at least we can still laugh at this photo. Some people are just born clumsy, but there's plenty of proof out there that there's always someone worse off than you. Just take a look at this poor unfortunate soul who snapped a photo seconds after this spaghetti disaster, which is definitely going to require at least 3 different types of cleaning. I guess that's what you get for dining out in your own bed. Nobody's perfect, so the odd mistake at work is no crime. But a monumental cock-up like this really deserves some kind of reward. This golden CCTV footage captured the moment one seriously unlucky girl managed to drop 22 quarts of ranch dressing while carrying it to the kitchen. She may be covered in it head to toe, but at least she was able to laugh it off afterwards. I guess she just had to use the dressing room to clean up. Most honest screw-ups can be easily forgiven, and I'm having trouble imagining how any of the parties involved in this nightmare emerged unscathed. It seems like resting in peace was no longer an option for this poor person as their coffin somehow smashed through the back window and onto the street below. I guess that's one way to have a last hoorah. The jokes truly write themselves when it comes to photos like this one, and there really is no better irony than one staring you in the face on the back of a massive truck. The driver to blame for this mishap definitely had some serious explaining to do. Extreme wind can be just as destructive as any other form of adverse weather, but sometimes it really seems like the higher power is out to get you specifically. Just take a look at this poor homeowner who was pleased to find their pool chairs had survived a storm, only to notice their grill had somehow been blown 30 feet into the pool. Now that's some serious bad karma. People love to pimp their cars out with all sorts of wacky interior decor, but what harm could a little rubber ducky do? Well, as it turns out, this little green fellow wasn't so suited to be spending his days sitting on the dashboard in the sun, because the proud owner returned to find he'd turned into, well, a green puddle with eyes. It's quite the #Transformation Tuesday. Drinking games are a great way to get the party going, But you'd better leave your dignity at the door when there's potential for a catastrophe like this to happen. No doubt this poor player confidently laid their phone on the table after reading the rule that the first person to get a text drinks without the slightest inkling that a text like this would arrive. Of all the ways to find out you've probably got an STD, this has got to be the most brutal.
What did I just say? A sexual partner recently tested positive for an STD. Whoa. Wow. Oh my God. Wait, I'm gonna read that real quick. All players lay their phones on the table, wait for the first person to receive a push notification. No, man. Oh, I think this one pretty much won it. For a worst day, imagine a random person seeing that. Nah, man, you can never recover from that. Never.
The ways to find out you've probably got an STD, this has got to be the most brutal.
Nah, that.
This is one truly tragic photo taken just seconds after disaster struck. What you're looking at here is 2,184 cases worth of Grolsch beer, which were scattered across Highway 401 in Mississauga, Canada, when a woman swerved into the path of the oncoming beer truck in 2005. Luckily, no one was hurt, apart from the pride of any beer lovers watching from their cars as the sea of alcohol was cleared up by police trying to get traffic moving again.
Nah, the STD notification, I think that was the worst one. At first, I thought the bees surrounding your car was the worst one. I thought the Beyblade one, I thought like that was the worst one. But knowing that you got a text that you've been informed that you might have STDs, though, I think that's the hands up winner. Like, hands up winner, hands down winner by default. I mean, the Beyblade chick spinning, round and round, I thought that was like the winner, but nah, I don't think anything can come close to that. But hey, that is it for this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Y'all want to stay tuned for more? Stab the buttons down below. You will see more videos. Hope you have a good day, y'all. Stay safe, and I will catch y'all later. Tomorrow. Peace out.